Wait, my pants aren't showing, right?
No, you're not. I'm joking.
Okay.
So, why is sending just as important as going?
Sending is just as important as going because it allows people to take part in the Great Commission who technically can't go on missions. So for me, I can't go because of my immigrant status here. I'm under DACA. Because of that, I can't go overseas, and so yeah, I felt like I was missing out on a lot. I felt like God commands everyone to go out and to share His gospel, specifically across the world. Not just in your local areas, but He says to go globally. And at certain times I was super bitter about not being able to go, but I think through that bitterness, God really changed my heart of not being able to go to, oh, you could be a faithful sender. And I think if there are no senders, people can't go,
I think sending is just as important as going because as followers of Christ, Jesus commands all of us to obey the Great Commission. And that could be done in multiple ways, and KCM provides us with a great avenue, which is STSM. But obviously, not everyone gets to go on STSM, and goers cannot exist without senders, right? And obviously, right here, right now, in our daily walks, in our daily environments, at school, at home, wherever it may be, this is our mission field. It doesn't have to be overseas, but it's really, as you have experienced, harder than it seems. And one of the main avenues that we are so fortunately provided with is KCM's STSM program. And these goers would not be able to participate in these programs if there were no senders.
Sending is just as important as going because if you're not going and if you're not sending, then you're being disobedient and you're not obeying God's calling for us to be lights and to spread the gospel. Because sending doesn't seem directly related to spreading the gospel, but it really is. You're giving people an opportunity, the goers an opportunity to spread the gospel all across the world, and that's a very indirect way of partaking in the Great Commission.
Oh yeah, so if you decide to be a faithful sender, that means that you're going to support them monetarily and with prayer, and so sign up for support letters, and then follow up with those support letters too, because I feel like a lot of trainees put a lot of time and effort into making these support letters. I feel like they would be really discouraged if they gave you a support letter and you didn't give them anything back or said you're going to support them with prayer. Even if it's not monetarily, I think you could always catch up with them, always grab a meal and ask them about how you could pray for them, what are some things that they're struggling through. So for me, wow, it feels like I'm bragging, but honestly, STSM drivers are so needed. People these trainees every week, they needed a way to get from LA to the OC and back. And so if you can drive and you have you don't have money, but you have a car, and one time just don't eat out for one night, and you could really take these kids to training and just study there and then take them back, and that'd be a huge help to these trainees.
I think one of my main ways of sending people is just really sharing my past experience as a previous STSMer. So I went to the Philippines in my freshman year, and it was honestly such a great opportunity, a great experience that I would really never forget about, and has really shaped my perspective on what missions is, what preaching the gospel is all about. And just remembering how much the upperclassmen and the previous STSMers have influenced me when I was making my decision to go. That really motivates me to try to support everyone, whether you're a freshman or you're an upperclassman.
Well, first of all, financially, very important, and through prayer, which is something that I think is very overlooked a lot of the times. I think prayer is very important, and it can get overwhelming to pray for each and every individual, and If that's the case, then you can just pray for STSM, just missions in general. But I think prayer is something that everyone should definitely be doing, whether you're a sender or a goer. You should all be praying. And I guess more specific to me, I think it's very encouraging to hear, talk to other people who are not going and who are sending people, and just kind of talk about what in other ways we can support the people that are going. So yeah, just talk to other people who who can't go on missions, and yeah, let them know and encourage them that even though they can't go this year or maybe not the next year either, but just to encourage them that sending is just as being obedient as going, and also as senders, don't limit yourself to just sending. You can definitely be a light wherever you are. And for me specifically, I learned throughout my 4 years in college that I am definitely being used here in my home and through my relationships. So don't restrict yourself. You're definitely being used for His greater kingdom. And yeah, I just want to encourage all the senders out there.